In this TeamSoft video tutorial, we're going to look at payment terms in SAP Business One and how they are set up. So here we are in Business One, and we've gone to Administration, System Initialization and General Settings. And on the BP tab, our Business Partner tab, we have a couple of instances whereby we can set the default payment terms method for our customers and for our suppliers. And this applies when we create a new business partner. So if we're creating a new customer, they'll default in this system to the AR-Net 30. And if we choose to create a new supplier, then they will default to the AP-Net 30. In order to get to those payment terms and see what they're made of, we can click on the golden arrow here. And when we do that, we can see that the payment terms code, the name that we've given to it, in this instance is AR-Net 30. And the due date is based on the posting date, but it could be on the posting date, the system date, or the document date. And those are the three dates that we see on the top right-hand corner of our invoice, for example. Then we can start the credit from the credit terms from the month end, or from mid-month, or month start, or from the date of the document, so that being the posting date in this instance. And here you say the number of days. So if this was a cash basic payment terms, the number of days would be 0. You can add in some tolerance days in there if you want to, so you might allow 2 or 3 days tolerance either side of the payment terms dates. The other item of interest here is our price list. So we can, by default, in setting this as being our default payment terms, we can set the default price list as well. So on our customer side, this is usually set to being the highest default price list we have on our system. We don't want to be setting this to our supplier price list, for example, or we might be selling our items accidentally for cost price. So these are the defaults when we're setting up a new business partner. The other way to get to these, rather than having to go in here to this setup, is to go to Administration, Setup, Business Partners, and Payment Terms. And this is our same window here. We're in Add mode here because all of our windows are white. If we go to Find mode, they're all showing in yellow. So same as what we saw already, this is where we set up the payment terms for the customers and for the suppliers. So here we're saying that a typical company might have AR cash basic because we want to have the customer price list set as our default there, and AP cash basic because we want to have the supplier price list set as our default on that one. And then we might have AR 30, 60 or 90 days, and the EOM refers to end of month, and the same on the supplier side. These can be configured any way you want to. You can have as many payment terms as you need for your own setup. So again, we're saying that we set the due date based on the posting, system or document date as defined in the invoice, and we do that here. We can set the start date from the date of the document, or the month end, the half month, or from the start of a month. You can enter the number of days credit we are offered or being offered. We are offering or being offered, and they here are 30 days. And we can set the default price list. And again, we note that often this is the highest price we sell at or the lowest we buy at. So the payment terms have an impact when we are carrying out the banking functionality. When we go to pay our suppliers, the payment due date will have been determined based on how the payment terms have been configured. And back here in Business One, we can see that in one of our Business Partner Master Data records, we have a Payment Terms tab. And here is where we can, number one, when we go to create a new one, it will pick up the default. And number two, we can change that here by clicking on the down arrow and picking a different one. Also, we can override that price list that was mentioned in that default payment terms to a different one at this time when we're creating a new one, or in future if we need to change it at a future date. So the payment terms can be configured, number one, in Administration, System Initialization and General Terms, General Settings, and in there in the Business Partner tab we set the defaults. Number two, you can set them up in Setup and Business Partners and Payment Terms in there. And number three, in here they can be defined or assigned to a particular business partner on a business partner by business partner basis using the Payment Terms tab. So thank you very much for taking the time to look at this Payment Terms tutorial for Business One.